Well, good morning. Good morning to everyone. Welcome to Spooky Sunday. I am speaking to you as the spiritual director, the happy spiritual director of Unity of Kent. And this is our Sunday service for October 25th, 2020. My name is Reverend Patty Becker, and I'm as I said, I'm the spiritual leader of Unity of Kent. And our worship assistant this morning is Leo O'Neill, and our musician is Carolyn Crusoe. Carolyn's been with us before, and so Carolyn, I warmly welcome you back and thank you for being a part of our service today. And
Thank you.
so now Carolyn will open our service with song.
Mic is
Mute.
now. That.
Um, Thank you, Carolyn. Oh,
You're
that
so
was great.
welcome.
I just got a chat that came through that just said your music is so amazing, and I
Oh,
agree. Well, good morning again to all of you. I'm so glad you've chosen to be with us on this spooky Sunday where we are donning our alter egos and uh, disguises and enhancements in celebration of Halloween at the end of this week. Uh, Unity of Kent is an open and welcoming congregation, and we are a congregation that, well, we like to smile and have fun. We invite people of all ages, creeds, colors, and lifestyles to join us as we all proceed down a path of spiritual discovery. Unity promotes a philosophy of practical spirituality. That means that it's a spirituality that we can apply to our daily lives, every single thought and moment, and and to enhance our experience of life. We are also base our teachings on those of Jesus, as well as core New Thought principles. We believe in each person's spiritual authority and know that applying spiritual principle to our lives, that we create and experience more and more good. And this good not only blossoms and flowers in our own lives, but also in the lives of all those in our world. So now I'd like to now that we've had music as a tone setter, to continue setting the tone for our service with prayer. So, in any way that feels comfortable for you, I would like you to shift your consciousness from the outside to the inside. I like to do that with taking a deep breath and just taking a moment to relax, to let my shoulders drop and my muscles to relax, to physically be in a state of calm. And deep breathing really helps that. Also, I recognize that many of us have come to this moment from a morning that may have had a lot of activities or things that have already been thought about or put into motion. And so, as we enter into this prayer time, let's just set those aside. And not only bringing our attention to this moment, but also relaxing emotionally, being fully present to our hour together this morning. Opening our hearts, feeling an expansion of receptivity flow through our being. As we affirm that there is one presence and one power active in the universe, one presence, one power active in my life, one presence, one power that is the essence of life, love, wisdom, strength, order, a presence and a power that is always available to us. And so we reach out and open ourselves to this presence and power, allowing its flow and throughout our entire being. May we discern what is truly of spirit and embrace that and expand that in our own lives. And may we be open to the gifts of our time together, really, whether it's inspiration or an aha experience. And this may come through a number of pathways, through music, the message, meditation, our sharing. But each one of us has an opportunity this morning for deeper realization and a profound, more profound sense of ourselves as spiritual beings. And so I am grateful. I'm grateful for the time we make for one another as spiritual community and the time we make for ourselves, for spiritual enrichment meditation, and prayer. And so it is. Amen.
That one was called New Joe Clark.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was wonderful. Good morning and welcome to Unity of Kent Spooky Sunday. You all look pretty spooky, whether you're wearing a mask or not. And I would like to encourage you, if you haven't voted, please get your vote in early next week. So let's start with the statement of faith. There's one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotence. I trust and align with that power of goodness now. So next Tuesday, be sure and tune in with Reverend Patty for the silent prayer service at 10 a.m. And then on Wednesday for the Spirit Talk with Patty at 10 a.m. And we started Adventures of Faith last Tuesday. Unfortunately, the link on the website was incorrect and people couldn't get into the class. The correct link is now on our events page. So if you want to join the class, you can do so. Join Reverend Patty at 7 p.m. this Tuesday for Adventures in Resilience. And I believe we'll be discussing chapters 1 through 4. The book Adventures in Resilience by Sharon Connors can be purchased as Amazon Bank Books, and hard copies are available from Unity Village Bookstore at 816-251-3578. And class will go for 6 weeks from now to November 24th, and it is given on a love offering basis. Today, right after the service, we'll be having a Keeping Connected meeting. So please stay on to get church updates and next steps. We haven't had a Keep Connected meeting since last February, so this will be a chance for us to share thoughts and ideas for the coming days. Because of this meeting, individual prayer after the service will be canceled. If you have a pressing need for prayer, email or call Reverend Patty. And taxes are due at the end of this week, and I would like to thank all of you that have donated, and we are very close to meeting the goal. It's not too late to add a little extra offering if you would like to do so this week. And remember, next Saturday, we go off daylight saving time. So when you go to bed Saturday evening, turn your clock back 1 hour, or you'll miss this wonderful service next Sunday. Our virtue this week is sensitive. Someone is sensitive, is thoughtful and sympathetic. They are extremely perceptive, understanding nuances and deeper meaning of things. A sensitive character is in tune with how people feel and can easily empathize with others. Because of this, they are deeply caring and considerate. And the affirmations are, I am sensitive, I am empathetic and caring. I am in tune with my feelings. I am keenly perceptive. And the daily word is listen. In the quiet of my heart, I listen for the voice of spirit. During the course of a busy day, I may hear all kinds of things, conversations, music, sounds from nature, and even my constant self-talk. Sometimes all that I am hearing numbs me to the more intentional act of listening. As I listen, I become aware of the voice of spirit. Its comforting, guiding presence feels like homecoming. As I settle into a tranquil environment and begin to relax my body and my mind, I create a welcoming space for listening to the assuring voice of spirit, discernible as my inner knowing. I breathe deeply and rest in this space. I go about my day listening attentively for the voice of spirit, expressing through all of the people in my life. Blessed rather are those who hear the word of God and obey it. Luke 11:20. Thank you and have a good day. Ooh, boo.
Oh, well, now is the time when we bless our prayer offerings, our prayer requests. So if you have a prayer request and would like it to be placed in our prayer box at the church and also held in prayer on by myself and our prayer team, just write it down in chat and I'll go ahead and copy it. You can send me a message through that chat link. And so there's an opportunity for us to receive spiritual support, not only from the things we read and the things that we study and the prayers and meditation that we enter into, but also from one another. And this is the blessing of having a spiritual community. And so right now, just let us think of, just let your mind go from person to person, members of our church, and to just whisper a little prayer of gratitude and appreciation for one another. As we hold our own prayer needs or desires in our own hearts, I would ask you to just close your eyes now as we bring all of those concerns, all of those desires into the sphere of our consciousness right now. And then we take a deep breath to clear the channels of anxiety or tension so that the flow of love and grace may be unimpeded by our own concerns. There is one presence and one power active in the universe. One presence, one power active in our lives. And the same presence and power, this oneness, this beingness, is the essential spirit in the lives of our loved ones. There is no situation or circumstance beyond the support, beyond the unfoldment of this presence and power, which we call God and is absolute good. And therefore, we connect with this presence and power within us, knowing that it is much larger than our
You
individual
put that,
personality,
now they can hear you.
that it is the truth of the universe. We know this presence and power to be life, love, order, strength, imagination, will, enthusiasm. But this presence and power and the attributes of this presence and power are our attributes as well. And so we meet all of life's challenges and joys from a firm foundation on these spiritual powers, affirming and embodying the light, life, and love of divinity as our own spiritual essence. And as we do so, we allow our power of faith to come forward with absolute confidence that the highest and best good is now unfolding for ourselves and our loved ones and in the world. And having such faith, having such confidence, it is ours to relax and to let it happen. And so I let go. I let go and let go, letting all that is of God to be the reality within my total experience. And with gratitude and release, I say thank you. And it is so. Thank you, Carolyn. That was lovely. Well, it's nice to be here with you. And my talk today is the first talk in which for the next 6 weeks, we'll be delving into the 12 powers. And so I hope that, and I know that this will be an enlightening and enriching series for the next month and a half for us all, me included. So in unity philosophy, in New Thought spirituality or theology, there's very little that is cut and dry. This can be very liberating for some and somewhat uncomfortable for others. The absence of extensive doctrines creates space, and that space invites exploration and investigation. And that's certainly what we will be doing in the weeks ahead. I think it can be said that those drawn to any of the New Thought churches are spiritual adventurers, not so much rugged individualists, but rather stalwart pioneers in matters of faith and spiritual growth. I've heard it said about unity that, oh, unity, they believe in everything. Well, no, we don't believe in everything. We have very specific principles. We have 5 of them, as a matter of fact. And within these principles, there's plenty of room for interpretation and application. Actually, the principles are more like a guidebook, a process that anyone who takes them up into deep reflection and consideration finds these principles to be enhancing and expanding in their own lives. They uplift us and they change us. The first of these principles is a belief about God, and it states that there is only one power in the universe. As a power, it is an energy, not a person. And this power is in all things. And what's more, this power is absolute good. Because it is one, most definitely it is unique and individual, but its essence is the same. The second principle is a logical conclusion of the first. Since everything is of God, and God is oneness as well as absolute good, then all that comes forth from the energy of goodness is, in its essence, also good. It cannot at its core be anything else. So the universe, therefore, and ourselves are inherently good. We are of God. We are not all of what God is, but God is all of what we are. It's not a matter of content, rather it's a matter of degree. The degree to which we choose to actualize our Godedness. One of the ways we exercise our Godedness is through the activity of creation. As God expresses as all that is, so too we express the experience of the totality of our lives. This is the third principle. Formally stated, we are co-creators with God, creating reality through mind, through the thoughts and feelings we pay attention to and focus energy towards. Actually, I might get in trouble for this, but I don't think we're co-creators at all. There's not a separate being to be in cooperation with. There's only oneness. Creative principle flows through the stream of our thinking and manifests as our experience. And we, of course, are expressions of God. We human beings have a glitch, though, and that is we forget who we are at our divine essence. But we also have a reset button, a saving grace, a practice for remembering. And that practice is prayer and meditation. In the silence of meditation and through the power of prayer, we can reconnect with our Godedness, with our divine essence. And this is what the fourth principle teaches. The fifth principle says, try it out. Just don't go out and live in theory, but live in action. All of the potential we have to experience peace, joy, connection, well-being, meaning is just potential unless we actually apply ourselves to the truth that we know. According to our principles, the truth is that we are made in the image and likeness of God, that God is oneness, that the essence of God is good, that the nature of God is composed of qualities or abilities or fundamental ideas which in action appear as primal creative forces. There are 12 of these ideas, 12 of these abilities, 12 of these faculties. The 12 divine components of God's image and likeness are the core spiritual elements of our own divine natures. They are divine ideas that constitute the pattern for perfection within us, within the universe. At our present level of evolution, these powers are incomplete in their development and expression. Most of us are using these abilities from mere personal consciousness. As we come to a fuller realization of our true divine nature, we become more able to fully demonstrate our divine potential. And that's what our purpose is, to demonstrate our Godedness. And that is the purpose of our study of the 12 powers, to fully demonstrate our divine potential, to achieve Christ consciousness, or to realize Christ consciousness, I should say, since Christ consciousness is already a part of our essence, of our makeup, of our foundation. But most of us live out of consciousness of our Christedness. To transcend to the fullness of our spiritual reality is what we're about on our spiritual paths. Each one of the 12 powers has a particular vibration. Charles Fillmore intuited that each power has a color association as well as a placement in our own bodies. The body placement tends to coincide with nerve bundles, and it's a brilliant idea. A body location for these spiritual faculties serves to ground them in our physicality so that we can actually discover and express them in our everyday lives. And so over the next 6 weeks, we'll be exploring these faculties, these principles, these abilities, and discovering how they work and how they can be enhanced and quickened, and then together to experience an enhanced and empowered life. The two principles of the 12 powers I would like to speak to today are faith and strength. And I begin with faith. Faith seems to be the starting point for our entire experience spiritually. Whether conscious of it or not, each person lives a faith-filled life every single day. Every time we switch on a light, we have faith that it will respond. Every time we get into our cars to drive, we have faith that our fellow drivers are conforming to the same rules of the road as we are. Every time we turn on the water faucet, we have faith that indeed water will flow. We have so much faith in such mundane daily matters that no decisions are required, no deliberations engaged, or no doubts are entertained. It just is. Contrarily, though, if lights don't respond, if water does not flow from an oncoming from a faucet, then we are surprised because our faith was so filled with conviction that what we reached for would be available. Faith in this sense is not much different than faith in our spiritual lives. Both require a belief in the existence of something or of an outcome. Faith is something that we know, but faith is something that we cannot be proved in the moment. It can become evident after demonstration, but before it's demonstrated, there is an element of the unknown. All faith commingles with uncertainty, for the very nature of faith is the act of going forward without proof. The word translated as faith in the New Testament is the Greek word pistis or pistio. This word has an energy of action and commitment. It means trust, loyalty, engagement, or dedication. Jesus emphasized faith in his entire mission, pointing to the activity of faith as the reason why people were healed, fed, or transformed. He didn't ask people to believe in him. Rather, he told them to have faith, to trust God, and to engage with his teachings. Ernest Holmes, in The Science of Mind, writes, "In order to have faith, we must have a conviction that all is well. In order to keep faith, we must allow nothing to enter our thought which will weaken this conviction. Faith is built up from belief, acceptance, and trust. Whenever anything enters our thought which destroys in any degree one of these attitudes, to that extent, faith is weakened. Faith demands that we enter into a trust relationship with conviction and with commitment. The act of being committed to an idea, an action, or an outcome is the foundation upon which manifestation rests. When we set ourselves in motion toward our desires with trust and conviction, we are acting in faith. And this type of activity is immensely powerful. So much so that we are told that such commitment, such faith can move mountains, can move any obstacles that we find ourselves encumbered by. In the absolute realm, faith is the ability to believe, intuit, perceive, to have conviction, and to heal. Deep faith leads us to risk taking, because our actions come from a place of commitment rather than a place of presumption or speculation. Faith is unconcerned with the past or the future. Faith demands that we are fully engaged in the now. Faith is a present moment experience. Faith is that awesome spiritual faculty that allows us to go forward into transformed lives every day. Faith is the courage and the commitment to manifest that which is yet to be seen. The color associated with faith is blue. As a vibration, which colors are, blue is a color of peace and infinity. Blue is a calming factor. It relaxes us. Our bodies and minds are conveyed to a state of peace, of softness and repose. The relaxing property of blue is applied for relieving headaches and migraines, the pains of stomach and muscle cramps. And these kinds of conditions are the outpicture of stress, uncertainty, and anxiety. And so to incorporate blue in our lives in a practical way, it is suggested that we wear blue clothing when we find our faith faltering, or that we are in situations that require more of our faith, that we surround ourselves with this color, either through visualization, through the clothing that we wear, or the foods that we eat. My favorite faith food are blueberries. The body location of faith is in the pineal gland, and this is located in the center of your brain, right behind your eyes, and it's sometimes known as the third eye. As it relates to faith, faith calls us to see as real that which has not yet come into physical experience. This power of faith that we all have is mightily reinforced by another spiritual power, by another faculty, and that is strength. The body location of strength is the small of the back. Physical strength is also related to the back. The back is our main structural support. When someone has back problems, it impairs activities, it limits our ability to work, and it threatens our independence. A strong back is a symbol of health, vitality, and energy. The color associated with strength is light green, and green sits right smack in the middle of the color spectrum as a balance to the higher vibrations of red and yellow and the lower vibrations of blue and indigo. When one is balanced and stable, one has greater access to personal strength. To be out of balance is to be unsteady and to be vulnerable. Green is associated with balance, growth, and calming. It is a cooling color, soothing color. And green is a muscle and tissue builder. Green is revitalizing to overtaxed mental conditions, and it is emotionally soothing. Green is the color of energy, youth, growth, experience, fertility, hope, and new life. The spiritual faculty of faith is a cornerpost in our lives. Strength is much more than physical prowess. It is the quality of spirit and mind that allows us to overcome obstacles, to adhere to a course of action, to persevere through leadership and hardship. Strength supplies the energy to fulfill our commitments and change old habits. Anyone here who has ever struggled with addictions or has intimate knowledge of something that they wanted to change in their life has intimate knowledge of strength. Since all divine ideas reside in the absolute, we as humans can only know them in relation to our experience. So God does not exert or demonstrate strength by being strong. God is the very essence of what strength is. It is the very essence of what strength is in our own lives. We have no real knowledge of the absolute, but we have experience of the absolute in relationship. And strength is that faculty of steadiness and dependability, of stability, and the capacity for endurance. More than a physical endowment, it is a degree of spiritual awareness. The power of awareness, the power of strength is not force. It's not manipulation, or it's not defensiveness. It is spiritual courage and confidence. And non-resistance is the highest expression of strength. And that doesn't mean non-action, but it is an effective, calm, single-minded, divine mind-centered attitude of our own mind. In essence of our being, the essence of our being is eternal. We are always connected to the deepest expression of the 12 powers because this is our nature, and that includes faith and strength. And so I ask you to rest in the awareness that you are always in connection to Source, that you always have the powers of faith and strength at your disposal. Release yourself to embrace your spiritual faculties. Increase awareness and build confidence in your spiritual capacities by entering often into the silence, by cultivating practices of prayer and meditation. And then trust in the insight and the knowing that bubbles out from the depths of your being as a result of meditation. And so let's enter into meditation now. Let's allow an opening. Let's throw the door and the window open and invite faith and strength into our lives. And then connect with that faith and strength in a powerful way of conviction. And so let's turn our thoughts now, our attention from the outside to the inside, to our inner scape, our inner soulscape. And for the time being, let the outer landscape be on its own. And again, with deep breaths and a focusing of intention within ourselves. And taking a moment just to allow this shift to become more and more stable. From time to time on my computer, I get the message that your internet connection is unstable. And sometimes in times of meditation that our connection to spirit can become unstable with the intrusion of the thoughts of our minds and the anxieties of our emotions. And so now in this moment to consciously stabilize our connection with spirit by letting all outside matters go for these moments. In this time of meditation, I would like to call forth our spiritual power of faith. Faith is the foundation of all that we believe and all that we manifest. It is the foundation of our thinking and of our outpicturing. And so right now, in this time, in this moment, I would invite you to imagine yourself surrounded by the soft blue light. And if you choose, you may direct this light towards your body's center in the pineal gland, and that would be the space pretty much in the middle of your head, behind your eyes. And in that body point, see the brilliance of blue. And really let yourself be foundation in this color, in this body location, and in your faculty of faith. Is there a situation in your lives right now that is calling you to greater faith? Is there an ambition that you are having doubts about? A relationship that has promoted concern or anxiety? A condition of uncertainty that you are finding unsettling? If so, I would invite you to hold this situation, this person, in your mind, either visualizing them or creating a symbol that represents the situation. The situation wants more clarity that needs to be seen and heard more fully. And surround this person, surround the relationship, surround the situation with blue. And a confidence that you will be known, that you will know what is called from you when the time is right. I take a step back from this person, this situation, and release the insistence of having to know how it will be resolved. Rather, I access my faith, knowing that all things are coming together right now for perfect solution. And that solution is becoming manifest. And rather than having to create the solution, I happily allow it to naturally come about. That my faith keeps me calm and centered. My faith has confidence in the highest and the best, in all of my relationships and all of my situations. And I allow this unfolding free rein. In this moment, I am so grateful for my spiritual faculty of faith that removes me from angst and anxiety, that allows me to calmly proceed in my life, empowered and confident. And so it is. Amen.
You may live long, close your eyes. Some folks do. You may dream a dream that's twice your size, all life through. But when the morning comes, who's to tell? Your dreams too. Only you. Only love, love only love will do. Only love, love only love else you see, there's nothing else. Only love, only love. I have felt a love within my heart, one or two, where one love would end and one would start. I love you. If love should come your way, you'll learn to say, I love you. I love you. You can sing along if you want. Oh, only love, love only, only love will do. Only love, love only, only love comes true. There's nothing else you see, there's nothing else. Only love, only love.
Mm. Thank you, Carolyn. I'm so glad you were able to join us this morning. I know I've received lots of messages of people just appreciating your music and wanting to know where to find more.
Ah, yes.
Well, now is the time in our service, I'm very happy to say, is when we have an opportunity to give our love offerings. And this can be done in several ways, either on our website through Givelify, which is my giving pathway of choice, can be mailed to the church, as well as through PayPal. That as we give, we receive. It's the law of the universe, and it has borne out in many people's lives, including my own. And I find that the more joyfully I give, with more ease I give, that the more I receive in blessing, in joy, in confidence, and in prosperity. And so I would like you to just hold your love offering in your mind or your hand if you have it with you now, and to say with me our offertory statement. Divine love flowing as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And now this is the end of our service, and I'm very happy to turn it back over to Carolyn, who will sing us out with the peace song.
And I know you're all going to be singing along with me there, though I won't be able to hear you. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as future, a family on we. Let us work with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. For today, each moment, with each moment, peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it
Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. And I hope you will stay on and do a little bit of socializing after the service, and then we will start our Keep Connected meeting. So for my part, I wish you joy and happiness in the rest of your day, and just a fabulous week ahead, going step by step with faith and strength. So have a good day and blessing. Bye-bye.